Yeah, something like that. It's 6:13 in the morning.
But what day?
Tuesday. I had to think about that for a
Yeah, so
second.
you're ahead of us. Yeah. I thought maybe, well, no, you haven't had a chance to wake up yet. That's all right. All right, just give me three lotto numbers. That's all I'm asking.
I don't think it works that way.
We've never tried. I've asked you a number of times to give me numbers and you won't do it. Wouldn't you be surprised if you gave me a set of numbers and I were to go ahead and do it, and I'd wait, like the lottery I think is on Wednesday,
Yeah.
and I would do that, and then there'd be large amounts of money. You'd never see me again, and you'd have a big laugh. Yeah, there's this idiot that I gave numbers to, and he said it wouldn't. I said it wouldn't work, and he won all this money.
Right.
Or not.
Which one? The lotto or lottery or...
In California, they have one. I think it's on. Well, they have it set up so you could lose your money on any day of the week. But
Ah, absolutely, yeah.
I think they have like mega lot is. I really don't play the lottery, but I know they have one that involves other states. So if you think you have lousy odds in California, you can parlay it with other states and really lose your money. And then they have
Yeah.
another one that just I think is just for California, and that one's for that's just for the education. That's just for education, so it won't be spent on other things like. Well, it has to be for education, but I don't know why they still want to raise taxes on education.
Um, I don't know. Maybe they don't want people to be educated.
Well, if they were really smart, they would never play the lottery. So maybe that's just kind of a, you know,
Hmm.
Sophie's choice. I don't know what to do. Educate people so they know that they shouldn't play the lottery, or get people to pay for the lottery and then spend on money for education so they won't play the lottery. I don't know, it's confusing. Anyway, I hope your day works out really well in the morning.
Hmm.
You have a whole new day ahead of you.
Yeah. Thank you. Likewise.
My day's half over,
All right.
but I'm a day younger than you are.
Very funny.
Are you having Vegemite with your toast?
Yes. I'm giving it to the kangaroo that's beside me. Listen. Its name is Skippy. Listen.
13's lost it. She thinks she's a kangaroo.
No, that's the kangaroo eating
Did you tie
Vegemite
your
toast.
kangaroo down, mate?
Yeah. Tie me
Why don't you
kangaroo
tie your
down,
kangaroo
Spot.
down?
Yeah.
That's kind of sad that you guys only have maybe two or three things that you can be kind of teased on, or where the U.S. is a constant, constant stream of you can make fun of us on any level. I mean, just say Kardashian, and you got us pinned right there. We had a wrestling match where I said, tie your kangaroo down, and be a little after. You just say Kardashian, you win.
Yeah. Donald Trump.
See now you're going for the big hit. I thought you maybe would go with Caitlyn Jenner or something like that. She went right for the throat.
Yeah.
Well, the new French president, he ought to be something to watch.
Yes, 39. Very young.
Or his mom will take care of. Oh, I mean his wife.
What, she's 20 years older than him, right?
I don't know. It said
50 or
that
52,
she
something like that.
active with him while he was in high school or something like that. I might have the story wrong
She
though.
was his teacher, I think that was. That's what I heard,
Oh,
anyhow. Yeah,
oh, oh,
and he married her. But you know, they
wow.
have children and everything, so. And they've been married for quite some time, so. Obviously working for them.
I'm not going to doubt anyone's ability to get married or who, what, or where. That's their business and all that. But it is even in the world of politics, that's kind of unusual.
Well, it's not really acceptable in America, but in France it's different. You know, they have different.
Is it? I can see that. I can see the U.S. is so stodgy in what they will allow and won't allow. But I can see in France, Vive la différence. I can see that.
Mm. It's not unusual in
Well, wait a minute.
France.
But isn't it more of a thing where you get married and then you have a mistress besides that? So,
Yeah, they do that too, apparently. But I mean, they do that in the West as well, but they just they don't talk about it.
well, it's more open in Europe.
Yeah.
Family reunions, I think that when you get the family picture, you have to have the mistress on the edge of the picture, or it's not considered good manners.
Right.
Could be wrong about these things. I'm just a simple American. What do I know? I know if you have more than one mistress, it has to be balanced on each side of the family photo. You know, the first mistress has to be on the left side of the photo on the edge, and then the next mistress has to be on the right, and then it goes, alternate back and forth, or you will have some problems.
Right. Not to be too hard on the French.
Well, that's not fair. But of course, if the woman is having an affair, I've never been sure how that works because, the men are the ones that usually don't know what to, be civil about all this, and the women are probably more discreet. So I don't know how that works out in the photo album.
Yeah, I'm not sure the same privileges extend to the woman. I don't know.
Just how unfair. I think it was right what James Brown said. It is a man's world.
Oh, yeah, indeed it is.
But of course, didn't James Brown wear a wig? So I'm not too sure how that worked. No, no, I'm sorry. Maxine Waters wore a James Brown wig. I'm sorry. Are you familiar with Maxine Waters in Australia?
No, I don't know her, but then, other um, Australians might, but I
The
don't know.
con she's the congresswoman in California who's trying to have President Trump, excuse me, impeached.
All right.
And the reasons for the impeachment proceeding is because she doesn't like him. So she thinks that's a reason. So she's just waiting to gather up enough information so that they will be able to impeach him. And so it's going to be funny because, well, it's going to be funny.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, Pen.
So 13, what do you think about Jill? Do you think she's around somewhere like Santa Claus? You never know if you've been naughty or nice, but she's keeping an eye on you, or do you think she's left the game, or what's your position on this?
Yeah, I don't think she's here. I think we'd know if she was here. We can tell by the type, when she types. Even if she doesn't speak, we still know. So no, I don't think she's here.
Wow. Because you usually tell when Boyd's here because he doesn't have a head. And let's see, who's the other guy? Uh, There's a few people that are here. Just like if SL had a policy where you could only have one alt at a no, you could only have no alts. You had to be you, and you had to use voice and all that. There'd be half the people in this area right here, right now.
Yeah.
It would be as much fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen Boyd for a week or so either.
I kind of think of Boyd as kind of like a jackalope. You know, many people have claimed to have seen him, but yet when you find out it's a mythical creature, but then again, who knows?
Yeah.
Stephanos, that's who I was trying to say. Yeah, I've seen him in various avatars.
I haven't seen him for a long time.
He doesn't come. He'll break out into voice ever so often, but what he'll do is he's quite educated. So what happens is his intelligence gives him away because all of a sudden he's commenting on things in chat that are way above what normal people would be knowing about. So it was kind of fun to
Right.
watch him
Yeah.
peek in and out.
Yeah, there's a few people missing in action.
Yep. It's a shame. I wish we could kind of like trade people. There's certain people who show up, which I wish we could trade away for people who no longer are here, so we could have have them back. But these go back about 7 years ago. Certain people that were truly creative.
Yeah. I guess they've leveled up.
They did something.
Yeah.
Jill. 13. I keep thinking you're Jill's, but then you come on voice, and then I think Misha Rocks is really Jill's. I can't be positive.
Oh, the voice is different. Misha's voice is different.
No, it's a voice changer. I can tell.
Oh, you think?
She said she wasn't, and I believe her. She's never lied to me. I take that back. No one ever impersonates Fooey, though. I've known that to be true.
Yep, the one and only.
The dead giveaway is when his imposters would have two shoes on, and he won't stand for that.
Testing, 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 testing. One, test, test. Oh.
Yeah, 21 people in here and nobody talking.
I can, but I have to do it through my laptop, and you can hear my fan, and it's all noisy. Does that suck?
Sounds alright.
You don't hear that?
Sometimes there's nothing to say.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
That's
fan on this thing is loud.
not much to say, son.
yeah.
I'm gonna buy a proper microphone this time instead of a headset. I always break those headset things. And I realize that most times whenever I'm talking, I don't really care to hear anyone else, so I'll just turn the volume down and just do my thing in a mic, play music real loud and shit like that. Because you can't play music real loud through a headset anyway. I mean, you can, but it's not practical. I'd rather just have a mic that picks up on everything, like make people listen to my dog snore, shit like that.
Alright. How do you put up with the sound of that fan?
I don't mind it, but I know other people have bitched at me. I think it's kind of badass. It's like a Harley Davidson computer, how it's louder than really necessary, but
Right.
it's still cool. Yeah, that's the way I look at it, and I'm fine with it. I'm amazed Christina isn't here. She's been going on about that dog like non-stop, dude. It's like that dog's gonna be raised by SL.
Yeah, it's our dog.
Have you heard her? It's bad, dude. She's like obsessed with it. I'm glad I'm not that little dog. Life's going to be hell.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the story of the year. The little dog.
I bet something like very unusual, something very fucked up's gonna happen. It's just not gonna be a human dynamic. Something weird's gonna happen, and I just know it.
No, I hope not.
I don't know. I watched a movie about dogs. It's called A Dog's Purpose, and it was the story of a dog who was reincarnated 4 times. Like the first time he was a retriever, then the second time he was a corgi, third time he was like almost like a Saint Bernard looking dog. But it just shows like a dog's life and its perspective, and I guess dogs get to keep coming back as the other dogs.
Sounds like Fui's Wiener Dog movie. Kind of. Sounds like the same idea.
I don't know the one you're comparing.
No, it's called Wiener Dog.
Nope, never heard of it. I did watch a good movie maybe yesterday, the day before. It was called Spotlight, and it was about this little news group who were investigators who worked for Boston Globe, and they're the ones that blew open the whole Catholic priest pedo thing. Like, they took down 70 priests alone in Boston. It's the story about how that all came to be. Very interesting, because there's lawyers involved, politicians, everybody, based on a true story.
Yeah.
And that's what opened, the can of worms, and then it turns out it was happening everywhere. Because the way that they figured it out was once priests were caught doing something, they would just be shuffled around and they'd be given certain statuses in the index of all the clergymen. So they just went by all the men who were given a certain status during certain times, and it turns out, sure as shit, they were pedophiles who were caught and paid off at, in a quiet settlement. So lawyers allowed this to go on, judges allowed this to go on, politicians, everybody allowed this to continue, knowing children were being raped. Thousands.
Yeah, I think it's part of their rituals.
Something you would think whenever it
Yeah,
happens
yeah,
at that
it's-
rate, part of the culture happening at that rate, yeah, that's part of it.
So they actually promoted those guys. Is that what you're saying?
In a way, yes. Like wherever they fit in, they'd put them wherever it worked. So it didn't matter what the position was exactly. They would just go to a new church and do the same shit again.
Right.
You should know of the one that went down in Australia. They had a boys' home where
Yeah,
the boys
I know that.
lived there.
I know that. Yeah.
They had oh fuck, there's one in Argentina. Those are not uncommon. They're like the monasteries where they go to study to become a priest or whatever.
Yeah, well, they put themselves in
that-
a position to be dealing with the less fortunate. So they're dealing with, orphans or sick people, children. They put themselves in those positions.
It's pure evil. That is fucking evil.
Yeah, it is.
And the main obstruction they had was that most of their victims were killing themselves.
Right. It's understandable.
But you did notice how I'm perfectly seated on the couch this time, right?
Yeah, I noticed that, Wolf. How did you do that?
I
Just-
invited the prim, went to sandbox, and then I moved it over here until I positioned myself perfectly.
Oh, right.
So I'm quite happy with this. I've been on this mission for a while now, and I don't think I can improve much on this.
Right. It's a comfy lounge. I'd just smash that. I couldn't stand that. The noise, I mean. Listen to that fan.
I think it sounds cool.
Get a new fan and put it in.
No, it's not worth the trouble.
Right.
I'll just squirt some oil in there, just some WD-40.
What?
Yeah. There's a little port right there. You can see the fan, so just squirt some WD-40 in it.
I think there's proper grease for that. Like plastic, for plastics.
Oh, I'm sure that's what it is. It's a lubrication issue.
It sounds like it's hitting something.
I don't know. I did have this thing open not too long ago because the touchpad wasn't working right. Have you ever seen what those consist of?
Yeah.
There's not much to them. It's a very, very simple design, but I guess it works. The only problem with this laptop, it was too flimsy. It's too light, but it runs great.
Hey, hey, hey! It's Fat Zane. How is he able to sit on your couch, 13?
He's rezzed a prim and dragged it in there, yeah.
Well, where did you res it?
I don't know where he rezzed it. Maybe over in the sandbox?
Yeah, I can't drag anything that I res in the sandbox over here, because I have a lounge chair I want to bring over here. I can't bring that over here.
Yeah, I don't know. Ask him how he did it.
Well, how did you do that? How did you res that prim and bring it over here? Oh, whatever. I know it wasn't magic. Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? I'm a young girl and I don't believe in magic.
Some fairy
Yes.
dust, magic dust.
upscale my avatar and my little band doesn't fit anymore, and I'm not going to edit that thing again. That took way too long. Plus, I've never copied it. Just going to have to do without. Is that noticeable? See the wrist strap on my arms, 13? Can you tell that it's glitching out? It's a tourniquet for the Yorkie bite.
Alright, let me just zoom in a bit.
It's on my left arm,
What?
around the
Yeah.
bicep.
Alright.
Does it look like it's messed up?
Oh no, it looks alright. Look at that little dog. What is that little strap there? On your arm?
Oh, it's just I got it because it was Star's birthday or something,
Alright.
and the metal part has stars on it. I got it to go with this T-shirt.
Yeah, it's under the it's just under the sleeve a little bit, but it's okay.
Well, if it weren't under the sleeve, it would be totally fucked.
Alright.
It's impossible to resize.
Alright, okay.
Yorkster's going crazy in the pen. We just went to 7-Eleven and got some hot wings.
Oh, nice. Is he eating that?
Yeah,
She
but
eating
10
that
for-
stuff yet?
I get, I take all the skin off and then give her just a little bite of the meat on the inside. So she's not eating shit, she's literally getting a piece of meat, but it's like a tiny, super tiny piece.
Hmm.
Whenever we go somewhere, I make sure I reward her with like a morsel, just so she knows that when we go somewhere, she gets something. So
Yeah.
it's a reward for the trip.
No.
But it's literally like a grain of burger, like a sliver of chicken, a piece of cheese. It's never anything that's substantial,
No.
and it doesn't interfere with her eating habits, so it's going all right. But man, 10 of those things for $5, 10 wings. That was just way too much food. And there was so much waste. They covered it with way too much bread. And like the pile of bread and bones was equivalent to what they look like with the meat on there. So it's just all this waste product.
They're not very filling though.
Oh, dude, I feel like I ate like a half a chicken.
Oh, okay.
They were big. They were huge and meaty. Like, I think these chickens were weightlifters in the last Olympics. It's insane. Chicken legs. Because the ones that look like drumsticks, they were huge. They were massive. The ones that actually look like wings, they weren't as big. But the ones that look like drumsticks, man, dude, that's fucking huge.
Yeah. I'm crashing.
And they used to not have the bread on them. They used to be like just the skin and with the sauce. And they gave me the kind with the bread on it, and I wasn't too happy about that.
No. Somebody's raised
Not a
something
big
here.
fan of that kind. They made them without my knowledge of the, because they weren't on display, or I wouldn't have bought them. They don't mind me bringing my dog in there. Of course, she's in the carrier.
Yeah. Oh, it's only little. It's okay.
And I open the door with my debit card, like I don't touch anything unless I'm buying it. Are we really crashing? That guy's moving.
Don't you see that huge prim? I just had to de-render it. Huge. I got rid of it
See
anyway.
was
I got rid of it.
looking away. I was envisioning the 7-Eleven experience, reliving it in my mind. And then, I probably would have been, amply full, but I went to Dairy Queen and got a small banana split blizzard, so that's why I'm nauseous now. Because, overeating's where it's at.
Right.
The small was huge. The small was like the size of a medium drink, probably in your country.
Yeah, I can't
So I'm
believe
gonna
how
get
big
the
your
mini
drinks
next
are
time.
over there. It's like a bucket of Coke. It's the huge, huge drinks.
I'm still shocked every time, to be honest. I'll say that's a medium. It's just massive. Oh man, that was satisfying though. I don't get dessert very often. I start my diet tomorrow, so I thought I'd just go ahead and overdo
Did you
it
see
today.
who it was that cooked your food? I should always peek and I can see who they have cooking.
What?
When you go to restaurants, always look in the back and see who's cooking your food.
They don't let you back there.
I just go. I don't ask, I just go and I look.
Man, your mic's messing up.
It's my fan.
Well, 7-Eleven, they cooked it all right there, man. I could probably eat roadkill and not get sick, though, to be honest. I have a bulletproof stomach.
Would you let like a dirty black person that had herpes blisters all over their mouth cook for you?
Dude,
Knowing
why do
they
you have
get
to
that
make
guy
it about race?
masturbating in the bathroom.
Why do you have to? Why is your mic messed up? Move it.
Hold on, I'll try my headset again.